Hello, hello. We are about to start with the Career Confidence Challenge. I'm excited to be here. I hope you are as well. If you are already here, I see a couple of people who are logged in early. Just go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know where you're joining from, and we will get started soon. Hey, Joy from Houston. Happy you're here. It's my pleasure. Okay, let's start at 7. Hi, Nicole from Columbus. I'm glad to have you here. So, welcome to the Career Confidence Challenge. And today we're really talking about why confidence matters in your career. We are going to start off. I'm just going to let you know that to be able to ask questions or to interact with the chat, you need to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, that's probably why you can't access the chat. So you can go ahead and subscribe. That will give you the opportunity to interact in the chat and also be able to ask any questions that you may have. So you can subscribe and then get access to the chat that way. In terms of our conversation today, we're really talking about why confidence matters in your career. And it really does matter and does make a difference in your career progression. So, firstly, I want to know why you decided to join here today. I know there are various reasons why you may have seen this post somewhere online and decided to join. And just let me know where you're at in your career. Are you looking to make a career change? Are you looking to land a promotion? Are you really here because you want to grow? You want to develop yourself personally? Are you looking to get better at networking or boost your visibility? Go ahead in the chat. Just let me know why you decided to join today's conversation on building confidence in your career. Hi, Gina from Gatineau. Great to have you here. So the question was, why did you decide to join the Career Confidence Challenge? Either making a career change, getting a promotion, your own growth and development. We want to get better at networking. I know there may be different reasons. All right, I'm looking to make a career change. Okay, sounds good. Any other reasons people decide to join? Okay, a career change as well for Joy. Sounds good. All right, amazing. So, whatever your motivation is, I'm really here to support you through that journey. A couple of people responding as well, growth and development and make a career change. Amazing. I'm really here to support you. The Career Confidence Challenge is a challenge that is over 4 weeks. And so we're starting today, but it's going up until December 19th. And I will tell you a little bit more about that shortly. But whatever your motivation for being part of the Career Confidence Challenge, I am here to support you fully through this journey to help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And so a little bit about me for those who do not know, my name is Lisa Appia. I'm a certified career and resume strategist and the founder of We Apply. I live in Ottawa, Canada, and I was born in Montreal, so I do speak French, I speak English, also speak Twi. My family is from Ghana. And basically, I am an introvert. And this is part of the reason why I ultimately started my business, because as an introvert, I was having challenges navigating the corporate world. I was in a space where you had to network and you had to show up at meetings and you had to promote yourself. And all these things felt extremely uncomfortable for me because I was more the person who just wanted to get their work done and go home. I didn't want to have to do all the socialization and all the things that were part of the workplace construct. But I realized over time that if I wanted to progress in my career, there were certain things that I needed to learn to do and to adapt to my own style to be able to excel. So I developed different strategies to help me in that way. And through those various strategies, I was able to land 5 promotions in less than 8 years in my work. And then also built my business, which is We Apply, where I really help quiet leaders to be able to understand and uncover their strengths so they can win at work while staying true to themselves. And that's the ultimate goal of what we are going to achieve in the Career Confidence Challenge. It's about getting a better understanding of who you are, getting a better understanding of what you have to offer in the workplace, and then knowing how you can leverage that for continued career success. So, a couple of stats, if you want, on things that I've been able to achieve for some of my clients in the last 3 years that we've been in business. I've been able to coach over 1,000 professionals, helping them get clarity in terms of their career, their work, land interviews, and secure meaningful employment. Our clients have been able to get salary increases that average 36,000 in terms of their career progression, and often I'm able to make career change or land a promotion within less than 6 months of working together. And this has looked like 3.1 million in cumulative income that our clients have been able to generate since they work with us. And our clients work with us in 2 ways. We have our membership program called Advance Her Career. This is a membership program that is exclusive for introverted women, where we help you break through a career plateau or stagnation in your career to be able to achieve a 6-figure salary. And we also have our leadership development program, which is called Win at Work. And this is a program for quiet leaders. It's a transformative 4-month program that helps leaders who are more introverted or quiet understand themselves and build a strong personal brand to be able to succeed as leaders at work. So those are the 2 main ways that we work with our clients and being able to achieve the results that I've mentioned. So in terms of where we're going for the next 4 weeks, as I've mentioned, the Career Confidence Challenge, it's a challenge. It's going over 4 weeks. It's not just come to one webinar and we're done. And it's for people who really want to achieve a specific goal by the end of the challenge. Today, we're talking about why confidence matters in your career. On December 5th, we are going to talk about how to make confidence a habit. And then on December 12th, we are going to talk about how to build a brand that raises your profile. And then December 19th is more of a Q&A session where it's open-ended and you can basically ask me anything about your career development. And the goal of the Career Confidence Challenge is to help you start the new year right. The new year presents a new opportunity for you to align yourself with the goals that you want to achieve in your career. And so the goal really of this challenge is to help you get the knowledge, the information, the confidence that is necessary to achieve your career goals in the new year. So at the end of every session, so we're here together for 4 weeks, there is a challenge. So there's something that you're going to need to implement to be able to see the results that you want to see. Again, it's a challenge. So we come together, we learn something, but then at the end, you're supposed to implement something as well. And so for those who are going to be part of the challenge, I hope it's all of you that are taking this 4-week journey together so that we can help you achieve your career goal. There is a LinkedIn group for the Career Confidence Challenge, and you can sign up to join the group. And basically, once you're a member of the group, that's where you can post your information on what you've been able to achieve with the challenge, how the challenge is going. And I'm going to drop it in the chat here, the link to the LinkedIn group. Or you can just go in LinkedIn and just search Career Confidence Challenge, and then you can make a request to join the group. It is a private group, so you need to make a request to join. Once you do that, throughout the month, that's where we're going to keep the conversation going to be able to keep ourselves accountable in terms of the various challenges we're going to discuss after each session. All right, so let's start off with a discussion on what is confidence. Confidence is really a fundamental quality that is necessary in the workplace. And it goes beyond self-assurance. It's really about believing in your abilities and conveying that belief to others. When it comes to your career, if you don't have the confidence in what you're doing, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to share your achievements, to be able to present yourself in interviews, to be able to position yourself in salary negotiations. So confidence is the foundation of what is necessary to be able to excel in your career. And one thing you need to know is that confidence is not a nice to have. It's not something that, oh, it would be great that if I was more confident. It's a must have when it comes to your career. And it goes way beyond knowledge and resources in terms of what you know, but it's about you having the confidence that is necessary to get things done and to position yourself for growth. So confidence is what you ultimately need to push your career forward, whether it's a career change that you're desiring, whether you're desiring to get a promotion, or if you're even deciding that, hey, I'm comfortable where I am, I'm not looking to move anywhere, but you want to still grow as an individual contributor. You need confidence in your career to be able to carry out the things that you need to do, to communicate effectively, and to build the necessary skills that are needed to excel in your career. Confidence is really what pushes you forward to keep going. I just had a coaching session with a client from Advance Her Career before I came here, and we were just talking about this, the need for confidence to push the things that you want to do forward. If you have that confidence and assurance in what you're doing, even when you come and encounter obstacles or things that stand in your way, because of that confidence that you have, you'll be able to push forward and do what is needed to achieve your ultimate goal. So it really allows you to push forward even in situations where you may fail. And so that's why confidence is very, very important in your career. And what it is, basically, it's your qualities and it's your strengths and your abilities, and it's your ability to have awareness of them. It's your understanding of what you offer, of your subject matter expertise, of your knowledge, and then also of the gaps that may exist. Because we don't know everything, but having that confidence to be able to understand that and know where you need to keep on working, or know where you need to really focus more attention or more time to be able to move from that person who's actually an expert instead of a generalist. That is what confidence really is. Personally, for me, confidence completely changed my career. As I was mentioning, I'm an introvert. And when I started my career, one of the things that I found very challenging is that I was clocking in. I was working hard. I was delivering results. I was doing everything that was necessary, but I was quiet, and I wasn't necessarily the person talking about my achievements or what I've been able to do. I wasn't very confident, and honestly, I rarely spoke at work. And at some point I realized that I really wasn't in control of my career. And so the things that I was able to do that enabled me to grow in that confidence is starting to believe that I could do it and that I was really worth it. So your mindset and how you view yourself, those are the things that will start to help you build that confidence that's necessary for your career. Another thing that was instrumental to me is I stopped listening to naysayers. At the time, there were a lot of people who were around me, and although they were people that I considered mentors or that I looked up to, there were so many things that they were saying about me, or that they were putting their insecurities or projecting on me, that was causing me to become stagnant in the growth that I needed to make in my life, but my career also. And so being able to stop those voices was key to being able to grow in my career. The next thing is I also took pride in my accomplishments. I began to share them. I began to really take ownership of my accomplishments and to become more and more confident in sharing them in meetings and in different settings at work. And then I developed a strategy to make sure that my presence was being felt. No matter where I was, I wanted to make sure that my presence was being felt even as an introvert. So those are some of the things that I did personally to be able to achieve confidence in my career. And we're going to dive even deeper into other strategies that can help you to achieve that level of confidence to be able to succeed in your career. So, why confidence matters in your career? The first thing is that it impacts your pay. There is a study that was done by the University of Messina. They found that people who are confident and have high self-esteem are able to earn up to 30,000 more a year than their peers who had low self-esteem. And this study is a longitudinal study. They followed these professionals over a number of years to really understand the impact of confidence on their career. And they were able to find that it had a great impact on people's pay. So that's something that you need to pay attention to, that confidence can impact how much money you're actually making. The second thing is that confidence matters because it helps you increase your self-esteem and your self-value. When you're comfortable with yourself and what you have to offer, you will realize that opportunities will start coming your way. When you have an understanding of your skill set, when you have an understanding of what you offer, you are able to build a brand around that, and you start attracting opportunities that align with who you are and your values as well. So by increasing your confidence, you are able to shift the position of being that person who's always looking for the next role, looking for the next opportunity, to becoming that person who has a strong, confident brand that actually attracts opportunities your way. So that's another reason why confidence is extremely important in your career. Also, it helps you build credibility and it helps you build trust. When you believe in your abilities, others will also believe it as well. And we've seen this in many examples of some people who say the most ridiculous things. And sometimes you'll wonder, like, how do they have that kind of a following? How come people are so attached to what this person is saying when to you it's like complete nonsense? But you realize that that person is so confident in what they're saying, even though it makes total like no sense, that they're able to convince other people to follow them accordingly. And so when you have confidence, you're able to build credibility and you're also able to build trust in your career. And then the last reason why confidence really matters is that it helps you in terms of getting promoted. People who are confident are more likely to get promoted into leadership positions. There is actually a study that was done that found, and this was specific to introverts, but it said that 58% of executives thought that introverts were bad leaders. And the reason why they thought they were bad leaders is because they saw them as quieter and they lacked confidence. And as a result, they thought that they didn't have the leadership skills that were required to be able to lead a team or to be able to help an organization achieve its goals. And so quiet does not necessarily mean that you are not confident. And that is where the narrative has to change, that even though you are a quiet leader, you can be a confident one. And so how are you going to be that confident leader is by still building a comprehensive network around you, making sure that you are connected to the appropriate decision makers, and ensuring that your brand and your story is conveyed appropriately to be able to attract those opportunities that you're looking for. So, a couple of things when it comes to building confidence in your career. The first thing I want you to keep in mind is that you have to overcome self-doubt. Being able to be confident, it actually starts with you. It starts with how you see yourself, how you think about yourself, the things that you listen to, the kind of content that you're consuming, what you're watching on TV, what you're watching on social media. All these things impact the way that you see yourself and the way that you view yourself. And we've seen this so many times where you see people who are looking at influencers or people who, like, I follow a lot of fitness people on Instagram. And if I didn't have confidence in myself, I could start wondering, oh, why don't I look like this person? Or why am I not getting results like that person? And that's when the self-doubt starts to creep in. But when you understand who you are and you understand what you have to offer, you realize that your situation is different, your situation is unique, but it's still valuable and important. So overcoming that self-doubt is very important. A first step to overcoming that self-doubt is being able to forget the past. And that can be extremely difficult because our past often holds us hostage. But this is one of the main ways that you're going to be able to build confidence, not only in your career, but in your life generally. Being able to let go of those past mistakes that you may have made. I was working with a client recently in advance her career, and she was telling me how she did a presentation and the presentation didn't go really well. And, it was in front of the whole company, and she felt like she embarrassed herself. And it happened months ago, but you could tell, like, from the way that she was telling me the story, that she was still holding on to it. She had been ruminating and pondering on it and holding on to that past mistake so hard that it was stopping and preventing her from being able to do anything else moving forward. And so to be able to overcome self-doubt, to be able to overcome and really understand who you are, a big step is letting go of the past. Letting go of past mistakes, letting go of things that people have said about you in the past. I was told that I could never be a business owner. I was told that I would never be able to influence people and help people because I was so quiet, because I didn't have what it took to be able to be a business owner. But look where I am now. Although, and in all reality, it took me a long time to be able to overcome that self-doubt and really realize that who I am is important and that I can make a change in someone's life. But once I took that initial step, once I had that confidence to say, yes, I can do it, and I took that initial step, things began to change. And so that's what confidence will do for you. Confidence will cause you to start. Confidence will cause you to keep going, and confidence will cause you to scale and build whatever you're doing. So that's why confidence matters in your career, because confidence is what will basically push you to keep going even when things aren't exactly the way you plan them to be. Overcoming self-doubt also means learning to know yourself. A lot of us, we are so used to asking people for their opinion about your career or about, even, you're trying on clothes. Sometimes the first thing you'll ask the salesperson is, oh, what do you think? Even though I look great in this, like I look amazing in this, but you will still have that little self-doubt that's like, oh, maybe like the side, something's coming out, or maybe it doesn't look great on this side, or you'll try to nitpick and just find something, but then you want that person to give you the confirmation, like, oh, what do you think about the dress, or what do you think about the way I'm looking? We're so used to having to get somebody else's validation that we are sometimes not even aware of what are the things that we actually like. What are the things that you actually enjoy? What is the career that you actually want to pursue? What are the things that you actually have to offer? We've sometimes not even taken the time to assess what are those God-given gifts that you have that you can use to advance in your career. What are those things that you have already inside of you that you can use to make a greater impact? So it's also about learning to know yourself. That is an important step in being confident in you and in your career. And then the last thing also, when it comes to overcoming self-doubt, is to gain awareness about your qualities and your attributes. And that will involve you actually taking the time to be alone, to be quiet, and to actually go through your career story, your past achievements, and assess them and say, what have I been able to do in the past? Where are there gaps in what I'm trying to deliver or offer, or where I'm trying to go with my career? And then how can I take the necessary steps to put a plan in place to achieve the goals in terms of where I want to be? So those are some strategies in terms of overcoming self-doubt. You want to challenge negative thoughts, listen to the right things, don't be a hostage to your past, learn to know yourself and enjoy who you are, what you have to offer, and gain awareness about your qualities and your attributes. That's one of the foundational steps to be able to gain confidence in your career. And one of my clients that I worked with in Advance Her Career, I shared her story on social media. Her name is Anka. And basically, when we started working together, she is of Eastern European background, and she has an accent. And she felt that her accent was the thing that was stopping her from being able to achieve her goals. She felt like people weren't considering her because of that. And I see this often with the various professionals that I work with. Instead of focusing on what they have to offer, they're focusing on what they don't have. Oh, I don't have that Canadian or American accent. I don't have that name that's simple to pronounce. I don't have that background. I don't have the 10 years of experience they're looking for. I only have 8. I don't have that look that will get me into these boardrooms or in front of the right people. It's always what you don't have. But instead, flip the script and talk instead, recognize instead what you do have to offer, because there's so many great things that you do have to offer. But unless you recognize them, it'll be very difficult for you to be able to articulate them to convince somebody else that these are the skills that they need to solve the solution that they have in their company. So it all starts with you. It all starts with you being able to change your mindset to realize that it's not about what you don't have, it's actually about what you have to offer. And that's how you are able to start paving your way to success. And sometimes it means that, hey, I don't have a certain skill, I don't have a certain knowledge. That means you may have to take a course, or you may have to, study or do something that will enable you to upskill. But that's not always the solution to being able to make that career transition or to being able to land that promotion. Sometimes what is necessary is you being able to recognize that I have what it takes, and fully owning your abilities, fully owning your strengths, and then simply articulating them to be able to promote them on your resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, and all those other things. But that first step of overcoming self-doubt is very important. The next thing to keep in mind is you want to develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is essential to continuous self improvement. And it's really a belief that your abilities can be developed through dedication, learning, and perseverance. So when you take that step of overcoming self-doubt, now you need to do some work on your mindset, really being able to embrace challenges and see opportunities to learn, really getting to that point where you're no longer the generalist, but you become a subject matter expertise in what you subject matter expert in what you do, and seeing failure as a learning process. You will make mistakes along the way, but being able to recognize those mistakes and see them as learning opportunities for continuous growth is key. Also, when it comes to that growth mindset, it's also paying attention to how you address yourself. A lot of times we are our worst critics in terms of the way maybe you're trying to build confidence in public speaking. And so you're challenging yourself that, okay, when I go to this meeting, I'm going to say at least one thing, or I'm going to take on the speaking engagement because it's going to give me the opportunity to practice. And then you start critiquing yourself. I see this so many times with my clients. They have an interview. They did great in the interview. But as soon as they finish the interview, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't say this. We practiced this and I forgot to say that. And it's always what was missing as opposed to what went well. And a lot of the times they come back 2 or 3 days later and it's like, oh yeah, I got into the next round of the interview. But then why was your first initial reaction to critique everything that went wrong as opposed to realizing that some things did go well? And it doesn't mean that you will always get the next step in the interview process or that you will get the job, but even recognizing that I need to celebrate the wins along the way. There are things that went well. Even though everything didn't go well, there are some things that went well, and those things are also worth celebrating. And so that's what really having a growth mindset is, being able to recognize that some things did go well and celebrating those things that went well. The next thing when it comes to building that confidence in your career is setting achievable goals. So you want to have clarity and direction for your career. I always encourage my clients, what you want to do is you almost want to reverse engineer. You need to know what's the long-term goal, maybe the goal for the next 3 years or the next 5 years. If that is the ultimate goal, now reverse engineer and say, what steps do I need to take today to be able to achieve that long-term goal? And those steps in between will be smaller goals. They will be smaller and achievable goals. It's not like you're currently an analyst and you're saying, okay, my goal is to be the CEO of the company and I'm going to do that overnight. No, you set achievable goals that will help you get to that ultimate step. So maybe a goal will be that you need to improve your public speaking. Another goal will be that you will expand your network to be able to start having more executives in your network to understand the kind of mindset that they have. And then maybe another goal will be on a weekly basis, you want to connect with 10 people on LinkedIn. These are all small, achievable goals that you can manage that will help you get to that ultimate goal, which maybe in 5 years is to become the director or the CEO or the CFO or whatever it may be. But it took little achievable milestones that you were able to take that will help you get to that long-term goal. If you start with the big goal, often what happens is you get overwhelmed and then you say, okay, you know what, I'm not even going to do this thing. But if you break it down into smaller achievable goals, then you'll be able to build your confidence along the way. Because an amazing thing is that when you are able to achieve one small goal, it gives you that excitement and it gives you that confidence to know that, hey, if I was able to do this small thing, then I can do the next one. And then along the way, you're just celebrating those milestones to be able to achieve the next goal that you want to achieve. I did a very similar approach when I was starting to get comfortable with public speaking. I challenged myself, and I knew that ultimately the goal is I want to be a speaker or I want to deliver workshops. That was always something I wanted to do. I always wanted to teach. It was something, even when I was young, I said at the time I wanted to be a teacher, but I don't have patience for kids. So I didn't become a teacher, but I did become now a career strategist and a leadership development coach, and I do still teach in one way or another. And when I was setting that goal in terms of public speaking, I started small. I really started with smaller groups, really saying that, okay, today I'm going to speak in my team meeting, and I made mistakes. There were times that I ran out of breath because I was so nervous. There were times that things didn't go as expected, but I still pushed myself because I knew that there was a longer term goal that I was trying to achieve. So at this point, I would love to hear from you. You've all been quite quiet. And as I said, quiet is good, but I want to hear from you. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments in terms of building confidence in your career and why confidence matters? This is the first week of the Career Confidence Challenge. If you came in a bit late, we have a LinkedIn group. I shared the link in the chat. This is where we're going to continue our conversations throughout the week. And every week there's a challenge that you want to be able to implement. And I'm putting the challenge for this week in the chat for you. The challenge this week is you want to use the SMART method. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Using that framework, you want to write out a career goal that you would like to achieve in 2024. So we are going to, in the group, on the LinkedIn group, share what that goal is and use the SMART framework to be able to communicate that. So SMART, again, is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And I've put that in the chat as the challenge of the week, and it'll also be in the LinkedIn group as well, so that you can find that information there. So we will take any questions you have at this time. I've pinned in the chat the link to the LinkedIn group, so you are able to access that directly from LinkedIn. I will let you know that for the next 3 weeks of the Career Confidence Challenge, I'm going to send you a different link. You all may have received an email with YouTube links, but I'm going to send you a different link so we can do it on Google Meet. I think it would be great for you to actually speak and for me to hear from you. I was just thinking about this as I was going. I would love for us to be able to interact more throughout the challenge. So just check your email and you're going to get new links for the next 3 weeks of the challenge. And that's how you'll be able to access the challenge for the upcoming 3 weeks. So just keep an eye on your inbox for that information. Hi, Cherise. Thanks for joining. So this is powerful. I love what you said about owning what you know and about your strengths, not looking for validation about what we already know. Fair. Yeah, definitely. That's quite important. And when you have that assurance about your skill set and about you're competent, ultimately, that's what's also going to help you increase in confidence. So yes, definitely, that is well said. All right. So have you joined the LinkedIn group? I see I have a couple of requests here, so I'm going to accept them. And please do go there because that's where we're going to keep up the conversation throughout the week for the challenge. I've accepted a couple of people now. If you haven't done that, go ahead and add yourself to the group. A question: did you ever face situations where your confidence at work was seen as you challenging your leaders? If so, how did you overcome or go about it? That's an excellent question. And, I was actually listening to a TED Talk, and maybe I will share the TED Talk on the group because it was a powerful one. I was listening to it a few weeks ago, and she was basically talking about how confidence is viewed differently depending on who you are. For some people, being confident is just expected of them. But for other people who often look more like me, when you are being confident and you are being assertive, sometimes it's seen as you are being arrogant, or you are being forceful, or you are, you're trying to push your way in places where you're not supposed to be. So, have I ever encountered those situations? I have, in different instances in my career. And I think for me, what is the most important thing is knowing that what I was doing is the right thing. Because sometimes, like you're in the wrong and you're just like, okay, you're just going overboard, or you said something and you knew I shouldn't have said that. You were just pushing the boundaries. But when I know that what I'm pushing for or what I'm expressing is right, even if the people who are around at that time may not yet see it, a lot of times what has happened in those situations is that maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or sometimes a year later, they come back and they say, oh, that recommendation that you made, or, oh, that suggestion you were saying, we actually should implement it that way. Or after they've made the mistake or gone through the wrong steps, then they'll come back and remember the thing that you said, even if they don't attribute it to you. And sometimes that's what happens, is they won't attribute it to you. So I think the most important thing is knowing that what you're putting forward is right, and having that conviction to be able to believe in what you are expressing. And sometimes they'll take it and sometimes they won't take it, and that's completely fine. But that is the most important thing. Does it hurt sometimes in terms of, the feedback that you get? Ultimately, yes, it does. But it's also about you being able to build that muscle, because confidence is definitely a muscle. And the more you exercise it, the more you advocate for yourself, the more you're showing up for yourself, the better you become at it. And it ultimately doesn't become about how somebody will react to it, but you being confident in owning what you know and putting across the information that you know is right. So ultimately, how people respond to it, that's their choice, and how they decide to take the information is their choice. It's not every recommendation maybe you make at work that will be taken, but at the end of the day, you having that confidence to be able to express it helps you in your process of building your confidence muscle. So I would say, especially in a position of, when it's somebody in authority, something that you have to pay attention to is also understanding the person, taking that time to understand that person and their leadership style. A lot of times, some of the people who may be leading may have their own insecurities. I've shared a story where a manager told me that I wasn't ready to move up in a position. And I found out that the reason they're saying I wasn't ready is because it took them 5 years to be able to get that position. So they said that it has to take me the same amount of time. That makes absolutely no sense. If it took you that amount of time, that's your business. That's your that's your story. That's your narrative. That's not going to be my path, right? So a lot of times, even if somebody has a higher job title or they may have more authority in the workplace, it doesn't mean that they are also more confident or they have more self-assurance. Some of these leaders also have their own insecurities that they're trying to sometimes work on and sometimes not work on at all. And so understanding that person you're reporting to will help you also manage that relationship better. And that's what we call like managing up. And it is a skill that is quite important in the workplace as well. As much as you may have direct reports who report to you and you're managing across in terms of your counterparts at the same level, there is a bit of a responsibility also to manage up and to understand the person you report to and how to interact with them to avoid any challenges or any butting heads that can be avoided, basically. Any additional questions or any thoughts before we go? I do see some of the members of Advance Her Career are here. It's lovely to see some of you here. If you are not in the membership program, I am dropping the link to the membership program in the chat as well. If you enjoyed today's session and you're looking for more of this to be able to help you in your career, the Career Confidence Challenge is just for a month, but Advance Her Career is basically the membership program that I was talking about that's for introverted women to help you break through a career plateau and earn a six-figure salary. And it's on a monthly basis. We meet, we have a group coaching session, very similar to this, but it's open, so open discussion. And then I also teach on a specific topic, from LinkedIn to personal branding to leadership, different topics. And then on a monthly basis, we also have a Q&A session where we come together and I answer all the career questions that the ladies in the program may have. There is the option also in Advance Her Career, if you want to have one-on-one coaching sessions, that is an option. So you have the Grow membership, which is the membership where you get access to the monthly sessions and the Q&A sessions. And then there's also the Accelerate program. If you want to have one-on-one coaching sessions with me, it's one session a month. And so I've dropped the link there. And if you enjoyed yourself today and you're like, I want more of this, you will find more of this in Advance Her Career. And that's really where we take the time to help you and understand your story so that the information is more tailored to helping you achieve your career goals. I am going to stay around for 2-3 minutes in case there's any other questions that come up. I enjoyed today's session. It was a great start to the Career Confidence Challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Do pay attention to your email because I'm going to send a new link so that we can interact a little bit more next time. I will share a new link for next week's session. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely evening. Take care. Bye, Charisse. Bye, Gina. Bye, Connie. Thanks for being here.